What's up, people? This is the People's Podcast presented by the Wrestling Republic. And one second, I gotta bring in the podcast in the new year with the head of the table theme song in the background representing the bloodline. It's your boy, Young Meech, aka Scooney Mac, aka Young Twiggy, and my co-host is
The beast sleeping in the east, the one, the only John Wiley.
it's a new year. It's a new year.
But you get theme songs now in the new year?
In the new year, we got theme songs. We got a whole People's Podcast mix being made at the moment. But it is a new year, so we want to say thank you for everybody that tuned in last year. It's about to be even a bigger, greater year. We plan on doing interviews, even more reactions, all these different things. But this is the People's Podcast. We got a lot of things to talk about, but the first thing I want to bring up to you, John, and get your thoughts on Sasha Banks. Remember the last podcast we did, we actually was talking about, we was wondering what Sasha Banks was going to do. And now it's actually confirmed. Sasha Banks is a part of New Japan Wrestling. Tell me your thoughts.
Hey, I'm happy for her, man. If you ever pay attention to how she talk or what she like to do, she always wanted to be in Japan. And then on top of that, I feel like she was booked horribly in WWE because do you know she's never had a title reign that lasted longer than 3 months? Or 2.5 months, really?
It's funny because I never knew the exact numbers, but I've always complained about that. That's been one of my biggest complaints. She never got a real title reign.
Yeah, and every time, and then on top of that, they'll let her have it. All right, let's give it back to Charlotte, or Becky. I'm like, what? She just got the belt. What?
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like, personally, I feel like hopefully Japan treat her right. That is technically a big star. And she's really one of the best workers, wrestlers that the WWE had. So whenever she's ready to wrestle in New Japan, I'm going to be watching. I'm going to find a way because New Japan is one of the hardest wrestling sites to find legally.
See, here's my thing, though. Is it possible that she can sign a contract with New Japan Wrestling and also have a contract with the WWE?
It is very possible because under Triple H, we just let Shinsuke Nakamura wrestle in Japan to go face and retire his idol, the Great Muta. So it's very possible that that we could have some New Japan and WWE crossovers.
That's yeah. Because I'm saying like that instantly to me. Like, of course, if she signed with AEW, then there's no way in the world that she's going to also be a part of the WWE. But once I seen that she was a part of New Japan Wrestling, I was like, is that a guarantee that we won't see her in the WWE? Because, like, checking out all her tweets, she tweeted out thanking the WWE Universe, Vince McMahon, Triple H, all the people that helped contribute to her career as Sasha Banks in the WWE. But it just made me think, now that the WWE is under Triple H's reign, I was like, could this be a surprise, though, that Sasha could still somehow end up still a part of the WWE?
Hey, man, never say never. And like they always say in the WWE, man, they'll be back. They'll be back. So, yeah, I look forward to it.
But specifically talking about her being a part of New Japan Wrestling, I mean, I'm happy for her because obviously that's something that she's always wanted to do if you follow Sasha Banks. So it's like, and I'm a huge Sasha Banks fan, though I would love to see her part of the WWE. I just hope somehow, some way that she's able to do both instead of, because there's been a lot of speculation that she may end up at AEW still. So I'm like, I just don't want to see that. But I have no problem with her being with New Japan Wrestling.
I don't want to see her get hurt in AEW, man. The AEW it's kind of a clown show, man. Have you seen the AEW roster? Just about everybody got an injury.
Man, I have not. I got to really start tuning in to AEW more, but it's kind of rough. It's hard to do so for me.
For me, I can't stand their brand of wrestling because not a lot of it makes sense. Like you'll have a guy get hit with 3 power bombs, a suplex, pop back up, kick out at 2, then pop a V trigger and hit somebody, aka Kenny Omega. Like, bro, that brand of wrestling is kind of wild to look at. and it's hard to like take in. I would much rather have some movement mean something and has some movements actually matter than just a guy kicks out at two and makes a hot tag or just hits somebody. It's like it just don't make no damn sense. Anyways, though.
Exactly. But I'm about to be, as a new goal for me in 2023, as I'm trying to learn more about the world of wrestling, I have to watch AEW a lot more. So I will, I will be tuning in to AEW so I can know a little bit more about their product and what they're putting out there. It's going to be a little tough, but I got to. Of course, I got to also watch New Japan Wrestling as well. But since we're talking already about women's wrestling, there was another woman that has made her return on the last SmackDown of the year of 2022. And she goes by the name of Charlotte Flair, the Queen, who is already the SmackDown Women's Champion. Tell me your thoughts on that.
Privileged. I had to say it like that one time. I'm just saying, dog, that's just some real privileged stuff going on. But hey, man, it is what it is. I know on the podcast, I've said it many a times that, I can't wait for Ronda to get out of here. But I'm like, just when I'm starting to like Ronda in these last 2 to 3 months, boom, no longer champion. I'm like, what? What? And then top of that, we just let her come back with barely to little to no build up, and she's like, all right, title's mine. I'm like, what? What? At least say this for a pay-per-view, mystery opponent. Come on now. What are we doing?
Exactly.
But it is what it is, because even normally it sounds like I'm harping on Charlotte. No, I really do like Charlotte in the ring. And I do feel like if you're going to make her come back, might as well milk it, man. Make money off it, man. Build it up, anticipate it. Instead, we just having a regular episode of SmackDown. All right, cool. All right. That's great. Whatever we do for them numbers, I guess.
It's like, I get it. You want to end off the year of SmackDown with a bang. Charlotte Flair comes back. The Queen returns. She defeats Ronda Rousey. But it's like, it's kind of disrespectful to me, to Ronda Rousey. Like, she already competed in a match. And then all of a sudden, Charlotte Flair comes out. And then she's just like able to just beat Ronda Rousey. And it's like, dang, I have the same point of view as you. It's like, to me, and I'm a Charlotte fan, I think Charlotte Flair is one of the greatest of all time. And she's dang near on pace to be the greatest of all time when it comes to women's wrestlers. But to me, it's like, she could have won that maybe at WrestleMania or something, like a bigger stage. But dang, like, as soon as she comes back, she's already crowned the champion that quick. It's like, come on now. Come on.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of like when they were like, "Hey Brock, we're gonna have you beat Stone Cold Steve Austin in a regular episode of SmackDown, just so we can put you over." You'd be like, "What?" You don't make no goddamn sense, man. This is a very questionable booking decision. For all we know, Ronda's been needing some time off, so hey, it is what it is.
Another thing too, though, that it does, a problem for me at least, because I've been watching a lot of Charlotte Flair interviews, and I kind of noticed Charlotte Flair is a little bit more emotional as a person, I mean, and it seems like she does care, like, if the fans boo her or not. Not meaning that she, like, of course, if she's heel, they have to boo her, but just in terms of, like, I feel like for most fan bases, we all have the same feeling of, like, Charlotte is one of the greatest, but she also has, like, some privilege. And then to put her back in that position is like, dang, like, she just returned. Usually when a wrestler returns, they get an amazing reaction. She did get a cool reaction, but it's like, then instantly making her become champion is like, you were almost making people dislike her once again, though, super quick. Just because it's like, dang, you giving her the belt.
But this is what I call the John Cena effect. Because I'll give you 2 instances of this happening with John Cena. John Cena, eating his vegetables and getting a balanced breakfast and coming back with some vitamins to the Royal Rumble after everybody hated him. He just immediately, I'm the winner and I'm about to be champ again. Like, God dang, John, you just came back. Mm-hmm. Or my favorite, when Rey Mysterio won the belt on Monday Night Raw, and guess what? And you got to fight John Cena in the main event. Lost the belt immediately, like an hour later. Like this is how you get people to hate your wrestler, dog. You got to let some of these things sit for a minute. But it is what it is, man.
It's
Like I said, I appreciate her wrestling, dog.
it's like one. Speaking of those, I remember one of the worst cases that happened is when Batista came back, and then he won the Royal Rumble, and then people were just like hating on him because that was during the Daniel Bryan era where everybody wanted to see Daniel Bryan win, but
Yeah,
Batista won. Then it made Batista's comeback so like
sour.
sour completely because I'm actually a fan of Batista, and at that time I
Yeah.
was happy that he won the Royal Rumble, but just seeing how everybody else reacted, I was like, dang, it made me think, was like, maybe they shouldn't have had him win.
What hurts about that is like, Batista wanted to come back as a heel. And on top of that, he also wanted to change his theme song entirely. He wanted to have I think the RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan make a whole new theme song for him and everything. And I'm like thinking about it, yeah, that would have been a better move and build up Daniel Bryan since everybody wants him anyway. But you know how Vince is. He's extremely hard headed at times.
Yeah. But before we move on, speaking of Daniel Bryan, what do we come to expect for Daniel Bryan in this upcoming year with AEW? Like, is he finally going to win a championship?
Part time wrestler. He ain't winning shit.
Man, I'm
Nah,
like,
nah.
for Daniel Bryan to go to AEW, I mean, I guess he gets to wrestle in all these extreme matches and get to be, wrestle everyone he wants to wrestle. But to me, I'm like, he could just be used a lot better in the WWE. That he was a top star with the WWE. Like, and
From what I understand,
mhm.
Daniel Bryan is kind of in like Roman Reigns mode where we're kind of putting in second gear and got to really pick and choose when times we got to wrestle because, like Roman, he is a father. And, these are those critical moments where you don't want to be absent. You don't want to be like a Kurt Angle or a Steve Austin where you're not going to be father of the year because you're never there. And
Mhm.
I understand that. And so far, from what I understand from Daniel Bryan's perspective, like him talking about it, he wants to be there for his child. And at the same time that he's going to be at AEW still, he's just going to be the mentor. And I've been seeing him mentor a lot of the female wrestlers, especially like Jade Cargill and the newcomers as well. So him and John Moxley are kind of committed to those roles of being mentors. And I like the idea of that. And I want to see more good wrestling come out of AEW because I do know I like to talk mess about them, but they do put on good shows when they want to.
I like that Daniel Bryan will be like a mentor and training people and all those things. But I also want to see Daniel Bryan as a star, as a superstar, like to me, he is. So I'm like, I would like to see him get at least one championship title reign in AEW at the very least. So, but
Yeah.
I get it. I definitely understand, especially like in those early stages when your kid is a kid still, a baby. So it's like, yeah, you gotta be there.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I definitely understand that.
It
But
separates. Yo, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. You was gonna say
I was gonna say it separates who is this guy and dad. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Those are the critical stages when you're a kid, and you have to be there. So I definitely understand that. Um, but I want to talk about, since we're already still, we were kind of revolving around the women's division. We might as well just talk about Mandy Millions real quick. Mandy freaking Millions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mandy Rose got these boys locked up. She got their money. God dang. Just reportedly at the end of December, supposedly that Mandy Rose on Only Times has made over $1 million. And that is so far from what I'm understanding, almost 8 times her original NXT contract. Now I see why they want to get rid of her. She's making way too much money, dog. Way too much. Personally, I would have doubled down on it. I would have let her stay and kept the OnlyFans. We would have been like, I don't know, a WWE fan, only times, man. Maybe something. I don't know. But I understand they're not that kind of product. It's not the 2000s like it used to be, man.
I don't get though, like to me, I don't know, maybe I got just a different mindset, but and plus I don't know what she's posting on there, but to me, it's like that is separate. It's like that's the way she's making her money on the side. Like, let her do her. Like to me,
Yeah.
I don't really care what she do. Like
It's
now, yeah.
I was gonna say it's really because the WWE's product has really changed, but they like the 180 sometimes. Because come on, we've been through some times with the WWE back in the 2000s. We done seen some things, but the WWE ain't that kind of product no more. And I understand what she's doing on that website. You know, it's not healthy for the brand, but at the same time though, y'all kind of built her up to be this kind of character. So it's like you kind of made this, man. You got to accept it. And like you said, man, since she's doing this outside the country and not on TV, it shouldn't really matter.
Man, if I can still go on to Peacock and I can still look up these bra and panty matches and all this type of stuff, it ain't no reason why Mandy
Hey,
Rose or any other women, wrestler can have their little separate OnlyFans, only time, whatever case may be. It's the way they making money. Now I get it. It's crazy though, cause like she don't need the WWE. She actually makes more money from only times in a
yeah,
month.
think of it like this. I don't gotta get hurt, and I can stay safe at home, and I just gotta keep milking these clowns at home. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah,
Man, it's like
like you said earlier, man. If I can get Vince McMahon to tell Trish Stratus to bark like a dog and be half naked on TV, excuse me, almost naked on TV on Peacock Network, then what's the problem here, dog? What's the problem?
exactly. So I don't know. Hopefully, we get to see Mandy Rose back in WWE or some type of wrestling promotion sooner than later if she wants to do it, because she clearly doesn't have to do it. It's like, shoot, I'm making more
Oh,
money at home, taking pictures or whatever the case
oh.
may be. So
Mm-hmm. Power to her. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see her back in the WWE though, like I said, because when I was getting back in after Worlds Collide, just understanding her character and what she can do, I was like, yeah, I see why she's been champion for a year. She's actually pretty good. So
exactly,
hopefully, yeah, my dream matchup was to see her versus Nikita Loins in Lash Legend, but the other two still need to get up there in wrestling ability. But that's what NXT is there for, man, just for people to get better.
exactly. So hopefully we get to see Mandy Rose sooner than later. And also, before we move on to this next topic, I just want to let people know, for some, like right before we did this podcast, we started it off. My power went off because if you're in the Bay Area, if you're in Cali, right now it's storming pretty bad, it's raining super bad, it's flooding, and people powers is going off. So if the power happened to go off in the midst of this podcast, I'm just giving y'all a heads up. Just giving y'all a heads up what it is. So, but let us move on to the next topic. Let us talk about who do we think will be the breakout stars of 2023.
Okay. So my predictions for the breakout stars of 2023 is going to be Carmelo Hayes from NXT. Um, I think every time I watch him, it makes me want to watch more NXT, and I see why people look at him because this is technically Shawn Michaels' protege. This is his project, and I think Shawn Michaels did a great job. I think he's going to be the breakout star. Top of that, the next wrestler I want to see go even farther beyond is Nikita Loins. I think with her skill set, I feel like she can be great. Another wrestler I do think I want to see more of, and I want to see them break out even better, is what's his name from AEW?
Oh, so
Sammy Guevara. There we go. I want him to have an even better year this year than ever before, especially since the way things kind of turned out with CM Punk. Like, bro, there's an open lane for him to go out there and be that guy. So and then on top of that, the next wrestler I do want to see more of, and I can't wait to see more of, is Brian Pillman Jr. I feel like with him being healthy, I feel like there's going to be a lot of cool things to happen.
So let's break this down though, real quick. So what do we exactly mean by breakout star? Do we mean like, so to me, last year, the breakout star of the year was Sami Zayn. But to some people, they'd be like, Sami Zayn was already, you know, he was already known. But to me,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Sami Zayn really had a breakout year. Like, so even though Sami Zayn has always been known as a great wrestler, I feel like he finally got some time to shine. So that's what I mean by breakout. Or do we say breakout as meaning like, people who aren't really known at all, they're going to be put on the map pretty much?
For me, it's a bit of both because for me, last year technically the breakout star of the year was going to be Swerve Strickland from AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Keith Lee's tag team matches were just phenomenal to look at, and I believe if Swerve keeps being Swerve to the max, then I think he'll be fine. I just think he needs to stay off Twitter, and I think and I think kind of like this to pick up on what you're saying, like the guys who I want to be more exposed and be the guy, it's like I said earlier, Carmelo Hayes, because I'm at that point where I'm over here soliciting Carmelo Hayes to everybody I see, like I'm a door-to-door salesman. Like, yeah, hello, young man. Hello, everybody in class. Have you heard of Carmelo Hayes? He's this great wrestler on this program called NXT. I've been doing that left and right, man. Left and right.
So,
And so far, he already started out good with his match against Apollo Cruz.
so I definitely agree with you. I feel like Carmelo Hayes, if we're talking about NXT, I feel like he's sure definitely going to be a breakout superstar. But I feel like it's just, I got to see how, when he does get moved up to the main roster, how they treat him. Now, of course, everything is being ran by Triple H, so I expect that he still would be treated, in the same fashion he's being treated on NXT. But if I had to give one superstar, and I'm gonna just give a WWE superstar right now because I still got to do more research, still watch more AEW. I'll give y'all a AEW breakout superstar probably like next week or something like that. But if we're talking about just the WWE, one person that I believe that's gonna be a breakout superstar, I'm gonna go with Solo Sikoa because he's already a part of the biggest faction in the world of wrestling right now. All eyes is on that group. And then just watching Monday Night Raw, and when the Bloodline tried to take over Raw, Solo was just like one of the main enforcers. He is the enforcer of that group. And I could see him getting a big push. He's already a good wrestler. So then it's just seeing how good he is as like on the mic with charisma in a sense. And he doesn't have to have The Rock charisma. He just got to have his own charisma that makes you want to watch him more.
Where I say he's at right now, he's in that Batista kind of position where we don't have you to talk. He doesn't talk a lot, and he's kind of the enforcer. He kind of comes in and starts regulating. And I feel that's probably the best role for him because I honestly don't want. This is another point where I'm like happy Vince McMahon's not around because Vince would have just repackaged him as Umaga 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
But I would much rather him try to figure out what's the best personality for him because I would much rather a guy be comfortable being him on stage and then have instead of him playing a character that's not cool. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And because I think one thing that's really bad about WWE at times, or when Vince McMahon was in charge, he would have like a really good wrestler, and they would give him a bad like persona. They leave, they come back, and Vince is like, I want that version. I'm like, Vince, you gave him this stupid gimmick for the reason why he left. Like, look at Cody Rhodes. Mm-hmm. You made him Stardust. Like, what? So that's my point, though, man. I would rather them figure out something good that's comfortable for him and make it work. Other than that, I just say, hey, slot him into Batista 2.0, where he gets to regulate and he doesn't talk much.
It's funny. An unpopular opinion probably amongst WWE wrestling fans. I actually liked Stardust. I don't know what. It's funny. It's funny. I remember when Cody did an interview, and I was watching one of his interviews, and he was talking about that was like the breaking point pretty much is when he became Stardust. But to me, I was like, that was some of his best work to me up until that point. When I was watching, I was like, Stardust is dope. I was like, he better than Goldust. That was funny.
Because Goldust was old, like, bro. And on top of that, man, you pick Stardust over the dashing Cody Rhodes. Mr. Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Man, speaking of Cody Rhodes, I got a quick question for you.
Is
And
it
every
serious as cancer?
wait, oh yeah, exactly. And matter of fact, for everybody's watching, y'all can answer this in the comment section as well. Quick question. This is early prediction because we're on the road to WrestleMania as we're approaching the Royal Rumble, all these things, and we're gonna get more into that as podcasts go on the Royal Rumble and getting more in depth into that, breaking that down. But just an early prediction. After this year's WrestleMania, who is going to be WWE Universal Champion and WWE Champion, Undisputed Champion? Who's going to be the champion after WrestleMania? As an early prediction, you got time to change. But if you had to predict right now, who do you think will be the champion?
My hard prediction would be it's going to be Cody Rhodes being WWE champion or The Rock. The reasoning why being is that because people don't shut up on the internet, leaking stuff. We already know that Roman Reigns is probably going to lose that belt in probably at Mania, and he's going to be holding on to one of those belts. And my prediction is either The Rock is going to hold on to it for a bit, or Cody Rhodes is. And personally, I don't want to see Kevin Owens or Drew McIntyre hold that belt. Not yet. Not yet. Kevin don't need a belt, and Drew's just too damn boring at the moment.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember how I felt about them what was his name? Killer Cross?
Mm-hmm.
I remember how I felt about them matches and them promos. Yeah. The product wasn't good in the ring and it wasn't good outside the ring that much, man. I need better.
So you're saying Cody Rhodes or The Rock? If you had to pick one, who would you choose?
The Rock.
The Rock.
Because at least I know if The Rock is on the mic, I will be entertained. And I can hear the millions and millions at home again. You know what I'm saying? And I get to hear that. And I get to, sit at home excited and stuff, just waiting for The Rock. So that's why we want that. Even though I do know Cody could probably hold on to being the champion. I just like I said, the more entertaining and money making version is picking The Rock.
So as an early prediction, and that's a great choice. It all comes down to The Rock. When you actually think about it, The Rock has the world of wrestling in the palm of his hands, and he's going to be the one that determines what's about to happen over the next couple of months leading up to WrestleMania, because it's going to be the big question. Do you put The Rock against Roman Reigns? I actually seen a rumor, because you know how they have WrestleMania on both nights, Saturday and Sunday now. One big rumor was that Roman Reigns would defend his title against, he'd defend one of the titles, the Universal title, against Cody Rhodes on maybe Saturday. And then he defends the WWE Championship against The Rock on Sunday night. So, that's a big rumor. And to me, when I seen that, I actually thought that was a pretty good idea. I was like, you can kind of split up both of the championships again. We get to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and we get to see Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And because Roman Reigns is the biggest star in the WWE right now, it makes sense that he should perform on both nights.
Similar to football, I don't want to it's kind of rough when you run back-to-back games or a Thursday night football game right after a Monday night football game. You're risking the chance of your players getting hurt. And I would hate for Roman to get hurt during the Cody Rhodes match, then goes into the Rock match and gets working rough because he can't really move like that, or he's already wrestling with a torn ligament or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But if I'm Roman Reigns and this is basically his era right now, you can be, to add on to your Hall of Fame resume, basically, you could say I wrestled the main event twice. I wrestled WrestleMania Saturday, and I was the main event. and I wrestled WrestleMania Sunday, and that was the main event. And you could be the first one to basically say I was the main event on both nights, and you're in your prime.
Yeah. You make it CM Punk seething angry at home with that idea.
Man, so I'm like, if I'm Roman and I'm Triple H and I'm the creative team, I would actually do that. Even though I can't stand that fans are already speculating it, because then as soon as those rumors came out, like I think, it was kind of like WWE has been like denying that's going to happen and all that, and it makes it seem like they shouldn't do it because it's already been predicted, and I'm like, dang, come on, we're kind of spoiling it if that would be the case. But to me, I'm gonna just make my prediction really quick. I'm gonna say, shoot, as an early prediction, I'm gonna say Roman Reigns is still gonna be champion.
Well, I think he's going to be champion regardless because one thing I do know about Vince, he's kind of spiteful. You know why? Bruno Sammartino.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to eradicate that record and replace it with Roman.
I don't think you could do it.
No, well, here's the thing: we're at 870 something days.
Mm-hmm.
That's only 130 days until he's 1,000 days as champion.
Mm.
And let's think of it like this. Let's do the math. WrestleMania is in April. That's at least about. So that's at least about, I want to say almost about 100. That's 100 some odd days, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, Roman might hit 1,000 days as champion.
But Vince ain't in control no more, technically.
I'm pretty sure he probably has a gun in Triple H's back. Like, you better make him 1,000 day champion.
Man, here's my thing. It's tough because we literally don't know what The Rock's gonna do. It's literally depending on what The Rock's gonna do, if he's gonna make his return. But I just can't see The Rock becoming champion. So to me, it makes sense. The best idea was that idea to me. It's like, dang, actually, Roman probably may need some time off because he's been champ. But even though he's kind of been doing like a little part-time a little bit, so he may not need that much time off. But it makes the most sense because to me, eventually Raw needs to have a champion again, like a main champion. The Universal title needs to go back to Monday Night Raw because Roman can't be on both shows every week. So, and then you need to give people like Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, they need to actually have something to fight after. So, like, and give them a chance to be, stars on that type of big stage. So,
No, I feel you. I will say this though: the best thing to come out of this long ass title reign is that belt feels like it means something now. Mm-hmm. Because at times, you know how you. Matter of fact, do you remember back in the 2000s when we just watched the World Heavyweight Championship just get tossed around like a controller? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember how we let guys like what's his name, Jack Swagger, get the belt for no damn reason?
Yep.
We gave that dude the belt for what? Man. So that's to me is like, man, I'm glad we're allowing this long title reign to happen because whoever gets that belt next is going to be the guy.
Exactly. So that's why I feel, and that's a applaud. We need to applaud Roman for that. Roman has definitely made those championships mean something. So like, I got to give Roman his due and the creative for this storyline with the bloodline. And then I got to say this too. Eventually, Sami Zayn is a superstar right now. Like, Sami Zayn is getting cheered completely, even though he's a heel right now. Sami Zayn deserves maybe a championship reign at some point in time too, and see what he can do with that. So eventually, they do got to split up the titles. So that I see that's the best way to do it. Is having Roman perform on both nights, have him lose to Cody Rhodes, and then you can have him beat The Rock on the next night, or if The Rock says, forget it, I'm going to stay for a little bit, then The Rock can become champion and see what he could do with that. So.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying. I look forward to one thing I will really like, though, The Rock comes back for at least about 6 months, and we get a couple matches out of him, man. What if we get like a dream match, like The Rock versus Brock 2.0 at SummerSlam, and The Rock wins? Or how about we get like other dream matches out there, man? Like, say for instance, we get The Rock versus Roman versus, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like another guy who could, like, we could throw Seth Rollins maybe,
Exactly.
or a triple threat match, or just slot out Seth with Cody Rhodes. Or
Man,
imagine something stupid that would happen, like they just said, let's throw Stone Cold in the mix. Why not? Because rumor has it that Stone Cold Steve Austin is healthy enough to wrestle again, and he says he's up for anything.
that would be insane. In 2023, somehow, some way, we get a The Rock versus Stone Cold match again. That would be insane. I don't even know. That would, yeah. I can't even imagine it. I can't even imagine because, I mean, The Rock could still compete completely. I just got to see. I would want it because it's like if for Stone Cold to revisit that, he will have to feel like he's in a great physical shape that he can actually wrestle without like a shirt on and stuff like that. Because he ain't gonna want to revisit one of his greatest rivalries and then not be able to really give us a show. So,
Oh yeah, most definitely, man.
so that would be interesting to see for sure. But as we were talking about 2023, matter of fact, I just want to throw this out there. What do you think in the year of 2023? What do we come to expect out of Brock Lesnar, who's also always is in somehow the title picture and talks?
Honestly, I do expect another title reign. I just don't expect him to be like I do expect him to be Universal Champion again, or if not, I expect a lot of handicap matches. Because I feel like it's coming that Brock versus Bobby is gonna happen at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And I do expect the Hurt Business to return and jump Brock Lesnar. Well, that's what I expect from not Bobby, Brock Lesnar this year.
Mm. And then we got also, I'm going to throw out another name, a name that we have completely forgot about because he's been injured. The Legend Killer, Randy Orton. What do we expect from Randy Orton in 2023?
Retiring.
Oh. Oh. Man, we got it's so much to like. I think this year Royal Rumble is probably gonna be one of the best Royal Rumbles because we know Cody Rhodes is supposed to be back. So that even if we know that, it still would be amazing to see him win. But what we don't know is you got people like Randy Orton, we got people like Edge, you got people like Brock Lesnar, you got people like The Rock. So many people that was like could just be surprise entrants that can shock us. So I feel like this year's Royal Rumble is probably gonna be one of the best ones.
I'm thinking about like Sasha Banks, Naomi, and Beth Phoenix coming out the cut for the Royal Rumble as well.
Exactly.
I just hope they don't do nothing stupid like, all right, well, we know old girl just lost the belt. Let's have her come in at the end again and win it.
Man.
Oh, man, that'd hurt so much. But I'm looking forward to it, man. But you know what? Also, I think will look kind of weird. What they just make like Alexa Bliss win the Royal Rumble and she faces Bianca Belair at WrestleMania.
Ooh, I mean, I just watched. I was just watching the top 10 Raw highlight moments, and Alexa Bliss was beating down Bianca Belair, and they keep teasing the whole her being a part of the Bray Wyatt crew and team. I'm just like, put her together with Bray Wyatt already. Stop teasing it. Like, I'm tired of seeing the teasing.
We need the slow build up, man. You can't just give your cake and have you eat it at the same time. Nah, you gotta wait for it, man. You gotta eat dinner first, man.
We've been seeing this tease for too long. It's like, how long y'all just gonna keep teasing it? It's like,
hey, they've been teasing fans with Bray Wyatt in a wrestling match for months. I'm just saying, y'all waited that long. Y'all could wait a little longer.
And then, but I mean, ultimately, I don't know if I want to see that. Like, I don't. I think what they're going to plan to do, because Ronda just lost the belt. I think Ronda somehow is going to end up facing Bianca Belair
I
at
don't want to see that.
at WrestleMania. I think
I don't
that's what
want to
they're
see
going to end up doing.
I don't want to see that. If Ronda gets in this picture, I got to see Ronda get folded by Bianca Belair. I don't want to see Ronda versus Bianca. I don't want to see that.
And then, because I mean, right now, I wanted to see Ronda versus Charlotte, but they made Charlotte the SmackDown Women's Champion super quick. So it's like, we probably ain't about to see that. So
And isn't Becky Lynch on Raw right now?
she is. So Becky Lynch and Bayley. So those two may have a possibility of facing Bianca Belair, but Sasha is the real one I really want to see make that return. This should be Sasha's year. So,
What if, what if like Sasha wins the New Japan World Women's Championship, then slides in, and I'm like, I'm gonna win the WWE Championship as well.
she's like, and she submits her legacy like, I'm gonna be the GOAT just like that. To see it, I'm a Sasha Banks fan, and she deserves it because her title reigns hasn't been long, so she deserves it, man. Um, Before we cap off this podcast, tell me your wildest moment of 2022 in the world of
Okay,
wrestling.
it definitely was the Vince McMahon, getting what's it called, stepping down. But it's really him stepping down and seeing the rest of the year play out, which has been the wildest thing to me, because wrestling has been very interesting and people want to see what happens next. From stuff like Dexter Loomis and people like and like the formation of Damage Control and stuff like that, and Brock Lesnar bringing in a goddamn tractor trailer into a match, like things like that. You wasn't gonna get that with Vince around, no. But just to see this year unfold has been nothing but just entertainment and beauty for me, man. Because watching AEW and WWE, I've been having a good time. AEW has been kind of a clown show because of last year because of CM Punk and Chris Jericho nonsense. And watching the WWE kind of go down and see how everything kind of unfolded, it's like, bro, this is like the 2022 was one of the most interesting years for wrestling, dog.
Mm-hmm. So I would say I definitely agree with you. I mean, it was the most shocking that Vince McMahon, I never thought I'll have a time where I'll see Vince McMahon come down. I thought Vince McMahon would die in his position as controlling the WWE. And I think that's what he probably thought too. But seeing Triple H take over, one of the wrestlers I used to watch growing up as a kid, one of the best heels I've ever seen when I was growing up as a kid. So, and seeing him take over, that would be definitely the biggest surprise. My biggest surprise of 2023, though, I want to throw out there. Let's see The Undertaker make one more return with
Please
Goldberg.
stop. I'd rather him go to AEW and go wrestle Sting. Please stop right there in the name of the law.
Oh, man, it's 2023. You got any words for the people before we leave? The first podcast of 2023.
Hey, no more Undertaker ever. Stop doing this. And one thing I do want to say, though, it's a really important note, though. Pray for Damar Hamlin, the young man that was put in cardiac arrest at at last night's game for the Bengals and the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
And on another note, to be a little bit more afflicting, though, is, hey, man, if you got something you want to go do, man, and you want to make a switch up in your life, do it. Don't wait for New Year's resolution. Don't wait for your birthday. Don't wait for summer. Do it when you have the chance, man. Because honestly, everybody got to make some decisions in their life to make their life better. Because if you ain't happy with what you're doing, go switch it up. Do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. Yeah, I understand it's gonna suck at first. Everybody's gonna struggle, but once you get it, you're gonna love it.
I definitely agree with you. Go after your dreams, work hard in 2023, and we see you guys in the next podcast presented by the Wrestling Republic. Check out their website, Instagram, all those good things, and we see you guys in the next episode. We out. Matter of fact, let me play some music on the way out. But we out. Let me see what this is. Oh no, we ain't playing no Kanye. I'm sorry, Kanye canceled now. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, you ain't got this queued up. I'm about to get us canceled. Cut the string, goddamn.
I'm gonna play some CM Punk music on the way out because we don't know what CM Punk's doing.
Oh shoot.
In 2023. We out.